All right, so today we have turned back the clock to the beginning of the 2015-16 season here on NHL 26. The Chicago Blackhawks are defending champions. Phil Kessel is a Penguin and a zero-time Stanley Cup champion. Jack Eichel is a rookie in Buffalo. McDavid is a rookie in Edmonton. And I am very excited. Let's just get right into it. Actually, before that, I just want to shout out and thank the creator of this roster, TML Zeddy. I can't imagine how long this took, and this video does not happen without their hard work. All right, so before we hop into it, just going to take a look at a few rosters for some nostalgia. Starting off with the defending champion Chicago Blackhawks, this team is absolutely loaded. Prime Kane and Taze up front with rookie Artemi Panarin, Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook as the top pairing, and the very underrated Corey Crawford is in net. The Pittsburgh Penguins, in what would be the first year of their back-to-back cups, an incredibly deep team. This is the opening night roster, so at this time they did not make the Carl Hagelin trade, so very likely the HBK line does not exist in this world. Letang is leading the way on the back end, and Marc-Andre Fleury, just 30 years old, in the pipes. Over to Washington, and my personal favorite team of the Ovechkin era, absolutely loaded all the way through up front. Carl Alsner, John Carlson, and Matt Niskanen is a nasty top three on D, and Vezina season Braden Holtby backstopping them. Let's do one more with the San Jose Sharks. This was such a fun team. Young Logan Couture and Tomas Hertl, Prime Joe Pavelski, Jumbo Joe Thornton, and Marlowe still kicking. A deep blue line with Vlasic, Burns, and Paul Martin, and a 25-year-old Martin Jones in net. There's so many more teams we can go over, but I do want to start this, so let's see how year one pans out. All right, so here we are at year number one at the trade deadline. The Pittsburgh Penguins currently lead the league. They got 87 points, 41 wins in 63 games. Washington Capitals right behind them, 2 points back, but they do have 7 more games played. The schedule is when you do a custom league, which is what I'm doing here to get the league down to 30 teams. It gets a little weird. That's probably why that's going on. Nashville, a really good regular season so far, 84 points in 65 games, tied with the Rangers, who have 2 more games played. The defending Chicago Blackhawks looking to repeat. They got 77 points in 61 games, 34 wins. Edmonton right behind them. That's a bit of a surprise. We'll definitely have to check out on how McDavid's doing. Florida behind them. They had a really good year this year in real life, so happy to see that. Honestly, looking at it, a lot of the teams in the playoffs currently are teams that made the playoffs in real life, so happy with that. Let's take a look at who bottomed out. It is going to be the Colorado Avalanche. Utah right behind them for the Arizona Coyotes, obviously. Over to the player stats, and currently Daniel Sedin is leading the league in points with 80 and 67. Sidney Crosby right behind him, 78 and 63. Kessel, 74 and 61. Ovechkin's got 45 and 70. We'll see how he ends up. Oh my God. Patrick Kane, 45 and 61. This will be very interesting to see. Max Pacioretty right behind them, 44 and 65. Scoring is definitely up. That's what happens with creative players, but I'm not complaining. Definitely going to be very entertaining. I did say I wanted to check out the Oilers, and wow, it doesn't look like anyone's really popping off. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins leading the way, 53 points in 63 games. Eberle, 50. Taylor Hall, 50. Connor McDavid in his rookie year, 18 goals, 26 assists for 44 points. Over to the goalies, Pekka Rinne leading the league with 32 in Nashville. Braden Holtby right behind him, tied with Freddie Anderson on the Anaheim Ducks. A lot of the names you'd expect: Jonathan Quick, Devin Dubnyk, Henrik Lundqvist. This is the 2010s. Let's see how save percentage is looking. Leading the way, Freddie Anderson with a 924. Kari Ramo on the Calgary Flames, a 923. Rinne we saw a 922. Yaroslav Halak, a good year with the Islanders with a 920. I do love seeing these names. Steve Mason, Cam Ward, Tuukka Rask. Like I said, this is the 2010s. Once again, we're at the trade deadline, so let's see what's going on. Biggest thing I'm seeing so far, Nazem Kadri and Michael Grabner traded from Toronto to the Nashville Predators. San Jose moves off of Justin Braun, sending him to Columbus. The Ducks trade Andrew Cogliano to the Nashville Predators, so it does look like they're loading up for a deep run. Sharks look like they're blowing up the blue line a bit. Paul Martin goes to the New York Rangers, and the Sharks just keep going. Joel Ward and Raffi Torres to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Darren Helm goes to Minnesota. Not seeing anything much more. Cam Talbot to the Oilers, or actually Cam Talbot to the Flames to join Kari Ramo. That should be a good tandem, and that's looking like about it. So let's get to the end of the regular season and playoffs and see how it all plays out. All right, so here we are at the end of the regular season. The Chicago Blackhawks end up passing the Pittsburgh Penguins and capturing the President's Trophy. Pittsburgh's still right behind them. Nashville's still in third. The Islanders jumped all the way up to fourth. Here are the rest of the playoff teams. As you can see, It looks like the San Jose Sharks were the last team to sneak in with 88 points. Pretty interesting considering they made the finals this year in real life. They didn't do as great in the sim, obviously. Let's see who bottomed out. It's still going to be the Colorado Avalanche, and we'll see who they end up drafting if they get the first overall pick. Should be any of these teams over here. We'll see what happens with that. Over to the players at the end of the regular season. Daniel Sedin leads the league in points with 98. He will be the Art Ross winner. Patrick Kane, 58 goals and 38 assists for 96 points. He did miss 5 games. It looks like he'll be the Rocket as long as Ovechkin didn't have more. Erik Karlsson, 3rd place, 95 points. Jonathan Toews, 93. Sidney Crosby, 92. Duncan Keith, 92 as well. Pacioretty had 55 goals. Let's see how Ovechkin did. Here he is, 54 goals, 31 assists, 85 points. So he had less than both Pacioretty and Patrick Kane. Let's just go through a few more for those who are interested. Over to the goalies, and Jonathan Quick ends up leading the league in wins with 36 in 67 games. Steve Mason right behind him with 35. Pecorine, 34, tied with Braden Holtby and Yaroslav Halak. Solid seasons all around. Ben Bishop jumped up in there. Cam Talbot traded from the Oilers to the Flames. See how he did with the Calgary Flames. So he went 8-9-0, actually was doing better in Edmonton, looks like, but numbers stayed the same, just team record was a little bit different. Here are the rookies. Something I'm not too sure what's going on here. None of them played more than 23 games, looks like Jared McCann, but of what is considered to be rookies, again, these are all creative players, so I'm sure this might be a little bit off. Shane Gostisbehere has 11 points in 18 games. McCann's there, Connor Brown, Josh Levo. I'm very curious to see how this plays out. I guess it looks like Gostisbehere should have the Calder. We'll check that out in a few. Over to the Stanley Cup playoffs, and like real life, the Pittsburgh Penguins will be your 2016 Stanley Cup champions as they defeat the Los Angeles Kings in a sweep in the Stanley Cup final. Although he wasn't a finalist, Tyler Seguin leads the entire playoffs in scoring with 28 points. Evgeny Malkin behind him, tied with Jamie Benn. So that top line in Dallas was going off. Patrick Sharp there too. Crosby, 19 points. Kessel, 18. Matt Cullen, 17. Kopitar led the way with the Kings with 17. Letang had 17. Jeff Carter. So yeah, the Kings definitely weren't scoring as much. We'll see how Jonathan Quick was doing in a sec. Fleury leads the way with 15 wins, but Jonathan Quick with that 932, definitely probably the best goalie in these playoffs. Kari Lehtinen had a really good run. Roberto Luongo with the Florida Panthers. Sorting it by save percentage, Steve Mason did his best to try and take out the champion Pittsburgh Penguins. They did lose in 7 games, but an insane 938 from him. Seems like Yaroslav Halak did a lot of heavy lifting as well with the Islanders. Over to the awards. Once again, Penguins are your champions. Chicago, the President's Trophy. Let's see the individuals. Daniel Sedin, the Art Ross, like we saw. He won the Hart as well. James Norris goes to Duncan Keith. Lady Bing, Erik Karlsson. Nikita Kucherov ends up getting the Calder. So, yeah, I don't know. Not sure what's going on with the rookies and how the CPU's handling all that. Evgeny Malkin, the Conn Smythe. Freddie Anderson, the Vezina. Marc-Andre Fleury and Matt Murray, the William M. Jennings. Chris Knobloch, I guess. I'm trying to think who this would have been in real life. I actually can't remember who their coach was for his rookie year, but whoever the Oilers coach was in 2015-16, they get the Jack Adams. Jonathan Toews is your Selke winner. Daniel Sedin, the Ted Lindsay, again to go with the Hart and Art Ross. And as we saw, Patrick Kane with the Maurice Rocket Richard. So I really wanted to do the entirety of the last 11 years for this video, but unfortunately the draft classes are not in this roster build. I personally don't want to keep doing this without guys like Austin Matthews, Cale Makar, and so many more not entering the league, so I'm gonna stop it here. I did keep the save file, so if you guys want to see this continued without those guys, let me know. Before we do end the video though, let's check out some individual players. Starting with rookie Connor McDavid, he finished his season with 22 goals and 37 assists for 59 points. Rookie Eichel in Buffalo had himself 23 goals and 16 assists for 39 points. The real life 2016 Calder winner Artemi Panarin put up 17 goals and 57 assists for 74 points. Safe to say he is the real Calder winner in this sim as well. And that's where I'm gonna end it. That is it for this one. Still was fun to go back to an old season and see it through again. Thanks for watching. More coming soon.